Okay, now it's time for your second Ed Puzzle video assignment, where I'm going to continue reading from Home of the Brave. Now I'm on the section called Home. I take the school bus home. It's a long yellow car filled with screaming, laughing students and many paper balls wet with spit. Gross. I don't think it would be easy to drive such a car. My aunt is sleeping when I get home. Ganwar enters with a white basket under his arm. The washing machine's in the basement, he says. The what, I ask? The room way down at the bottom of the stairs. I'll show you later. He surprises me with a smile like Lual might have made. A big brother making trouble smile. You like doing the wash. It's my job, but if you want, I might let you help. Sure, I say, although I don't trust that mischief smile. I remember how well Lual and Ganwar used to test me and tease me. Always I was the little child with foolish ideas and silly ways. Always they were too old to bother with me, unless it was for their own fun. The door to my aunt's room opens and she comes out slowly, yawning and stretching. How was school, she asks. You would not believe it, I say. They teach you and feed you. And I have my own desk. You would not believe it. They teach you, they feed you, and I have my own desk. Are those things that we kind of expect? I think so. So you can make some inferences about what school was like for Keck in his home village. We're going to visit the zoo where animals live, and the planetarium where stars live. And I'm going to learn how to dunk slam in the class called PE. Slam dunk, Ganwar corrects. Good, my aunt says. Good boy. And she fills a kettle with water to put on the cooking fire. I want to tell her more, but I can see that her mind is visiting other places. I think maybe I'll like living in America, I say to Ganwar. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But you'll never really feel like an American, Ganwar says. You'll see. Why, I ask. Ganwar shrugs. Because they won't let you. He tosses the basket on the sofa. I'm out of here, he says, switching to English. Be home by, my aunt begins, but Ganwar is already gone. So far, Keck is still very hopeful, and Ganwar doesn't seem so hopeful, does he? He says, you'll never really feel like an American. He doesn't have the same hopeful attitude. The next section's called Time. My aunt sighs and leans against the counter. He's just not happy here, she says. I know it's been hard for him, but he doesn't even try. She rubs her eyes. I have to go to work, Keck. I've got an early shift. Eat what you like and go to bed early. By 8. I learned o'clocks at the camp, I say. It is called time-telling. But why not use the sun and the stars? My aunt points to the tiny clock strapped to her arm. Here in America, this is the sun. You'll get used to it. For now, just get some sleep. We know how to use the sun to tell time. I watch her put on her heavy coat. She isn't even at work yet, and already she's tired. I go to the door with her. Are you? I stop and try again. Are you glad that you're here? My aunt seems surprised that I would ask such a question. She thinks for a moment. The freedom is a great gift, she says. To choose your leaders, to walk the streets unafraid. But it's lonely here. And she hesitates. Hard. To change when you are older, to learn new words and new ways, that is big work. But for you and Ganwar, it'll be easier. That's my hope anyway. I watch through the window as she tracks a path through new snow falling. Her footprints catch the flakes, then vanish like pebbles in quicksand. Helping. When my aunt leaves, the apartment grows hushed, as the air before a storm. I turn on the TV machine, but the words are too fast coming. My aunt had looked so weary. I wonder how I can help. In the cooking fire room are many dirty dishes. Maybe I can clean them for my aunt. I've seen her wash some plates in the sink with bubbles. But now there are many dishes stacked high. Ganwar said the machine for washing was in the way down at the bottom of the stairs room. Maybe that's what his basket is for. Carefully, I place the cups and saucers and plates in the basket. With my special key, I lock the apartment door just as Dave warned me to do. Then I carry the basket of dishes down the stairs to the room of washing. It's good to be a helping person. If my father were here, he would be proud, I think. An ache in my chest comes, throbbing like an old bruise. The way down room smells like a rainy day. I see 6 white boxes with doors. Some are making noise. I find a sleeping one on top and open the top. One by one, I put the dishes into the hole. Then I close the top and wait, while all around me the machines, hum and talk. The next is called How Not to Wash Dishes. Just then Hannah appears in the doorway. She's carrying a basket of clothes and a big red bottle. Hey, she says, what's up? I look at the ceiling. No, that means what's new? What's going on? She laughs. You must feel like I do in Spanish class. The machine isn't working, I say. Did you put 4 quarters in? Hannah asks. She reaches into her pocket. She pulls out shiny circles. Money, she explains. It makes the machine go. She laughs her good laugh. Actually, it makes the world go. Here, I'll lend you $1. I can't accept such a gift, I begin. But she just waves her hand. You can pay me back later. She places the 4 money pieces into a special hole in the machine, then pushes them. Noise begins. It's like a tiny river flowing. It's working, I cry. Technology at its finest, she says. Of course, you still have to dry it all, then fold it. Fold it, I ask, but I don't understand. I'll show you. Let me sort these clothes real quick. Hey, you doing anything after this? We could go upstairs and catch some TV while we wait. That would be good, I say. I would like something to do. Ganwar and my aunt aren't home. My mom either. Well, she's not exactly my mom. She's my foster mom. She works the 4 to midnight shift at the quick stop. She pauses. That means she works at night. Kind of like your aunt. I watch as Hannah pushes white clothes into the machine. These machines, they say, clothes and dishes, I say. These machines, they wash clothes and dishes, I say, shaking my head. Mama will be amazed when she sees this. Keck's still holding on to hope. Hannah looks up. Did you say... Just then the river sound stops and my machine begins to shake like a crazed dancer under a full moon. It's eating my dishes, I cry. Please make it stop. Hannah lifts the top of the machine. The horrible noise of its giant teeth stops. She peers inside. Whoa, she says. I think this is what they call a problem with translation. In the next chapter, and this will be probably the last one before we stop, is Not Smart Boy. I don't want to cry. A man must show strength in the presence of a woman. But if I had to choose between kissing a crocodile and telling my aunt the news of her broken dishes, I would choose the crocodile any day. I look into the hole. Hannah looks too. It is not a good thing to see. I have many more dishes, but they are much smaller. I look at Hannah. She looks at me. I cannot say why, but when I look at her, I feel like I've gulped down a laugh that needs to fly free. I laugh then. She laughs. Then before I know it, we're on the hard floor laughing. Perhaps this is my punishment for trying to do the work of a woman, I say, wiping a tear away. Hannah punches my shoulder. Hey, in this country, a woman can do anything a man can do. She gets to her feet and grins. This is your punishment for being a moron. A moron is a not smart boy, I ask. She laughs. You got it. I laugh too. I stand and pull out a piece of a plate. Maybe I can fix these? Well, I suppose we can glue some of the pieces together, put them in your basket, and we'll see what we can do. But don't get your hopes up. I'm used to hearing that, I say. So I guess he put the dishes in the washing machine for clothes, which is not where dishes go. Let's do one more. Magic milk. I carry the broken pieces in my basket and follow Hannah to her apartment. She has a key like mine around her neck on a string. Hannah's place of living is not like my aunt's. It smells of many good things, some not so good. Everywhere are clothes and shoes, papers and dirty dishes. Sorry, it's a dump, I know. Hannah sighs. My last foster parents were total neat freaks. Do you have brothers or sisters, I ask? 3 older, 1 boy, 2 girls, all foster. My brother's working at Burger King right now. Don't know what my sisters are up to. My real brother lives with another family in St. Paul. That stinks that they're separated. Hannah begins opening drawers in the cooking fire room. I know we've got some glue somewhere, she says. Forgive me, I say, but I don't know what is a foster. Foster family. You stay with them when your real family is messed up. My mom's in rehab and my dad's, well, he hasn't been around since I was a baby. She pauses. Sorry, I forgot. It's hard to understand me sometimes. Rehab is where you go if you do too much alcohol or drugs. I have seen men in our village and drink until they fall down and laugh too loudly. Hannah nods. Yeah, like that. Your mother will be well soon? I doubt it, she says. She looks at me. Her eyes are wet, just a little. You can't be sure what will happen, I say. Life changes, so you must hope. I want so much to believe my words. Hannah doesn't answer. She opens the tall, cold box. Want some chocolate milk? I know about chocolate. At the camp, a helping doctor gave me a small piece to try. This is what laughing tastes like, I told her. I would like the milk very much, I say to Hannah. I watch while she pours wondrous brown milk from a tall, thin box. In the camp, people told me America was a great country, I say. But I never dreamed you would have cows that give such milk. Hannah groans. The world's oldest joke, she says, but I don't understand her meaning. Where do you find this milk, I ask. At the grocery store. I'll take you sometime. I'll take the bus there a lot. So Keck obviously thinks that certain cows make chocolate milk, right? He doesn't know about chocolate syrup. The yellow bus? Nope. She shakes her head. A city bus. I sigh. I'll never know all these things. There's so much to know. Hannah tilts her head to one side. Don't worry, it'll get easier. I'll help you. How come you're so helping to me, I ask. Hannah thinks for a minute. I don't know. I guess I've moved around a lot myself. Not like you, but I kind of know what it's like to not know things. She clinks her glass against mine. Here's to crazy glue. I don't understand these words either, but I don't care. My mouth is too busy rejoicing. One more chapter, and this is the end. I'm into this book, can you tell? Wet feet. Even the wonder of crazy glue can't turn my aunt's dishes into their old selves. The next morning I tell my aunt of my great mistake. She makes her lips into a line, closes her eyes. But she doesn't say a word. I would like it better if she would find her mad voice. Back in Africa, she and my uncle would argue so fiercely that their tent would tremble. The cattle are stampeding again, the villagers would joke. So we just learned that they lived in a tent. But now I think maybe she is too tired to yell. When Dave comes to visit in the afternoon, I tell him about the broken dishes. He just laughs. That's nothing, he says. I once had a client who tried to wash his clothes in the toilet. This doesn't sound like such a wrong idea to me, but instead I decide to hide my thinking. I say, I must get a job, Dave, like my aunt, so I can buy her new dishes. Hold on, he says. We'll see about that soon enough. You just got here, Keck. You need some time to get your feet wet. I check my shoes. It's true enough that they are dry. He doesn't understand what that means, to get your feet wet. That's called an idiom, Dave explains. Idiom. An idiom is when words have a meaning that's different than the literal explanation. Like when she said, what's up? And he looked up. An idiom means like what's going on. It doesn't really mean what's up. And when when Dave said, get your feet wet, it means, get used to it. It doesn't actually mean get your feet actually wet. If it says it's raining cats and dogs outside, it doesn't really mean cats and dogs are falling. It means it's raining hard. Those are idioms. Idioms are hard for people who just moved here from another country because they don't understand the language and they don't really get the idiom. That's called an idiom, Dave explains. You're going to run into a lot of these. It means get some experience. Dave turns to Ganwar, who's sprawled out on the couch like a dozing dog. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about a job, buddy. There are some openings at a couple fast food places on the bus line. Ganwar groans. He doesn't bother to open his eyes. I didn't come to this country to sweep the floors, he mutters. Gotta start somewhere, Dave says. And your mom needs some help with the bills. You're the man of the family now. A man doesn't wear a paper hat and give out ketchup packets, Ganwar replies. Ketchup is a fine food, isn't it? I offer, but Ganwar ignores me. Don't be intimidated, Ganwar, Dave says. He'll teach you the skills you need. I have many skills, Ganwar says. Even with one hand, his words spark like lightning. Ganwar is a great herdsman, I say. He was one of the best in our village. We'll talk about this later, Ganwar, Dave says. I follow Dave to the door. I want to ask him something, but I'm afraid he will say no. I take a deep breath. Do you remember the cow we saw that day, I ask? I would like to go back and visit her again. Gee, I can't today, Keck, Dave says, but maybe next week. He did not say no, I realize, so I try again, just like I would have with my own father. Sometimes if you ask enough, fathers turn maybes into yes, but only sometimes. Maybe I could take the bus. My new friend Hannah takes the bus to many places, I say. She could come with me. Dave thinks for a moment. He takes a little piece of paper and a pen out of his coat pocket and writes some words. This is where the farm is, but don't try going without a friend to help you, okay? Okay, I say. And I put the paper in my pocket. I put the paper in the pocket of my jeans. Give her a pat for me, buddy, Dave says as he opens the door. I think he is just being kind, since I'm certain he is not a great lover of cows. I wave goodbye and smile to myself with the secret comfort of a big idea. I wonder what that big idea is.